welcome back to the channel. As usual, I will start by saying I don't have a lot to update for this evening and for this video. Things have continued to be a little hectic. I'm still working on that project that I mentioned, and so that's pretty much that. The one thing I will say, the weather has turned strangely here recently. And it's a lot cooler this evening than it has been, so it's sort of unfortunate. I much prefer summer weather. I think that's all about an update that I want to share. As usual, I'm going to do 2 readings tonight. It's going to be 5-card readings. Yeah, that's that. So I'll take a moment here and then get ready. Okay, let me take a moment here to ground myself. Take a moment to say hello to the cards. Take a moment here to connect my energies to the cards and to connect this first reading with my friend Josh. Hmm. Okay. It's not a bad status card to begin with here. Your status card is the Fixer. Immediately when I turned this card over, the message that came through speaks to being orderly. Also, inherent with the name of this card, sort of being the fixer. There again, maintaining things, taking care of things. There's a wellness and a groundedness coming through with this card. As I said, it is all about maintaining order. A steadfastness, that's another term message that came through really loudly when I turned the card over. Just being steady, being grounded, and stable. So yeah, very positive status card to start with. Okay. Okay. So your challenge card here is prick up your ears. Right. This card is reversed, and in some ways the reversed aspect of this card is coming through, in some ways not. This is specifically speaking to listening, and this card here as a challenge card and being reversed, it is indicating that there is something that you're not listening to, and the impression and the energy and the message that came through, this is talking about the self, like some awareness that you have, like an inner truth, or a calling towards something. Perhaps there's some type of inner work going on, and there's like this internal voice and dialogue, but you've chosen for whatever reason right now to ignore that, and that is a challenge, and it's becoming a problem. Not necessarily a bad challenge card, but that's sort of the heart of it, is that it is something internal, something that you have made a conscious choice not to listen to, or to turn away from. All right. Okay, your tool card here is the Leaving. The message that's coming through with this card is speaking directly to that whole notion of leaving. Also, though, the message that's coming through is talking about transitioning, in a sense, being willing to have an adventurous spirit, and that's speaking further back to this challenge card of not wanting to listen to that part of yourself. Your tool card here is saying listen to that voice and be willing to go on a voyage. It may seem daunting or difficult. Also, another message that's coming through with this card, and it comes through often with this particular image, this figure here in the card is being watched over by another figure on top of these boulders, and this card is saying you are being guarded, you're being taken care of, and being watched over, so don't worry about that stuff. Just be willing to do the work, and be willing to go on your own adventure. So yeah, very positive tool card. There, as I said, adventure is the loud word that's coming through, and it is attached to this challenge card here of whatever that is, that internal thing of maybe you have a desire, for a different type of career or to live somewhere else. some type of change in your life, and there's a lot of internal dialogue and emotion surrounding that. And the solution card here is saying, be willing to listen to that voice and heed those messages. Okay. Wow. This is a beautiful outcome card that you have here. One of my favorite cards in the whole deck. Okay, your outcome card is the question. The intuitive message that came through with this card when I turned it over is all about sort of what we mentioned here with this adventure, in the sense that via adventuring you're going to find self-discovery, and it's also going to lead to an answer to a question, hence the name of this card. There's a rainbow above the small figure here in this card, and it's all talking about a positive outcome, a learning experience. Also, there's a figure in the background of this card that's sort of very ancient and old, and so there's this feeling and message coming through with this card that it's speaking to acquiring wisdom. Like, this is a very important sort of life lesson thing, opportunity that you have here in this outcome, you know, if you choose to use this tool card. So as I said, very positive outcome card. There's a lot of love and brilliance, and there again, wisdom, moving forward on your life path. This is very strong energies coming out of this card. So really positive. Okay. Card's not ready yet. Okay. Alright, your personal card here is the gift. I'll turn it right side up so that you can see it. As I always say with these personal cards, take a moment to look at the image. There will be something that speaks to you from this image, and it may not be the message that came through to me. The message for me that came through in this card when I turned it over, it's definitely speaking to a resolution of that conflict that we talked about here with your challenge card, you know, where you've got this voice and you're not wanting to listen to it or step out on that limb. The reverse nature of this card here as your personal card is saying you're going to find resolution there. There's not going to be any longer this sense of confliction or duality or being torn in different directions. You're going to find, you know, a straight path and harmony in that. So yeah, this is a very positive personal card, I think, and it definitely fits with the rest of the reading here. I'll show you the card again. As I always say, if you have difficulty seeing the image, let me know. I can send you a photo of the card, so that's not a problem. All, as I said, I think it's a very positive reading. Definitely I got a great feeling from this outcome card here. And even too, this tool card, there's such a, as I said, a feeling of adventure, of moving forward, you know, discovering new things, and that discovery is echoed in this outcome card. So yeah, it's a lot of positive life changes with this reading. So yeah, all in all, pretty good. Go ahead and put these cards back in the deck and allow the deck to dissipate some of the energy. These two are supposed to be together. the deck here a moment. Let the cards sit there for a moment. On another side note, while I'm resting here for a second and letting more of that energy dissipate, I will mention, and I'll try to remember to link to it, I did notice Severine and Ronnie from Moonlight Ponderings have posted a new video on their channel talking about some craft work that they had done where they were working on their Books of Shadows. And I had a chance to watch part of that video earlier today. Haven't made it all the way through it yet, but I'll link to it. So I will say, if you're interested in making your own Book of Shadows or doing that type of work, definitely go and check that out. And I'll link to it so you can find that link in the description of this video. Another thing I will mention, Severine and I have tentatively talked about the possibility of her and her friends from Moonlight Pondering and I doing one of those sort of witchy chat videos, you know. So we may do that at some point in the future. That's going to require some more time and working out some details, you know, with everyone's schedule and stuff like that. So I can't give an update as far as like when that will happen, but that's something that has sort of been put forward as a possibility. So I'll update more about that in the future as I find out and as our things are straightened out and worked out. Okay. Shuffle the cards again here. Alright. Take a moment to further connect my energies with the cards and to connect this next reading with Jenna. Okay. Those were supposed to be turned. Okay. All right. Okay. Wow. Card from the last reading. It's a complex energy coming through with this card. Your status card here to start with is the question. And it is reversed. And the message that I'm getting from this card that's coming through is the fact that the reverse nature of this card here is important. To some degree, this is sort of suggesting this energy of, I would almost go as far as to say, closed-mindedness. There again, the reverse of a question. This is sort of talking about being rigid or being fixed in a state, uncompromising, unwilling to change. And for whatever reason, that's indicative and important in, being stated here with the status card. Also, I'm getting the feeling that that is going to further flow to some degree here with the rest of the reading. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Alright, your challenge card here is the Temptation. And there is another complex energy coming through with this card. The message here to some degree is about temptation, but more so it's simply about, as I mentioned with the status card, it's about being focused, in one specific direction, and in a way that is a temptation. At the same time, though, it's distracting and it's leading you away from being connected. There is a darker aspect to this card of this figure here in the tree. Trees, though, oftentimes represent being grounded and, sort of a sense of community because of their limbs and the interconnectedness of the roots and all that. And I am getting all of that through this card here. Whatever this is, this rigidity that was mentioned in the status card, it's reaching a point where it's becoming distracting and sort of inclusive. So it's taking you away from possibly friends or family or community. It's sort of becoming therein a sort of obsessed viewpoint or direction that you're moving in. So therein is the challenge. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a sense of isolation from this card coming through here. Okay. Card's not quite ready yet. Okay. Alright, your tool or resolution card here is the Queen of Day. And the message that's coming through here very strongly when I turn this card over, to some degree it is sort of about dreaming, but it's also about faith. Faith was one of the words that came through in the message very loudly. And this is speaking to whatever this is going on here with the status card. There's a feeling of, oh, if I tread this path, you know, isolated and focused on this, then I'll reach a certain goal. But if I don't, then it's like I'm going to fall off of, you know, the top of a dam or something, you know, or a tightrope. And this resolution card here is talking about having faith in yourself and also having faith in being able to connect with other people, and stepping away from that isolation. In a sense, it's saying be able to dream, you know, a positive future where you can have something that you want, but you don't have to be sort of boxed in order to have it. There's a lot of light, positive energy here in this tool card. But there is, as I said, the focus that comes through very loudly is looking to the light, but also dreaming and having faith. Those are the loudest voices of that message. Wow, okay. Card that has come up recently. Very fitting for this reading. Okay. Alright. Your outcome card here is the Shapeshifter. And the message that's coming through here with this card is speaking to the name of the card, in the sense, being a shapeshifter, being able to be flexible, you know, to change and adapt to situations. So it is speaking to a positive resolution of this difficulty that you're having with the status and the challenge card. Also, there's a very strong presence of spirit. Usually that comes through with this card. It's coming through now. Particularly in the top part of this card here, there's a figure that's staring straight out of the card, and it's speaking to being watched over by your guides. A lot of times with the wings and stuff in this card, there is a sense of message. I'm not getting message as much as in the message it is saying you are being watched over, you're being cared for, you know. So I think the message there again is saying, you know, be reassured and understand you can be flexible, and you can have, you know, friends and community and still have the things that you want. Being able to manifest via your dreams with this tool card. So a very positive outcome card. Okay. All right. Okay. So your personal card here is the Paradox. It is reversed. I'll turn it up so that you can see it. You'll note that with this Paradox card there are two faces, depending on how the card is sitting. The intuitive message that's coming through here with this card is speaking to the fact that this card being reversed is important. Basically, it's saying, you know, the question and the issue here that you've got in your status card and the problem, you know, revolving this temptation is going to be cleared up. I take this card and the message that's coming through as a further reassurance of this outcome card here. It's sort of speaking to the end of the paradox, the end to this struggle or this question of, can I have both? You know, can I manifest all of this stuff for myself and have harmony, you know? And that's the message that's coming through to me. I'll show the card to the camera again. As I always say, take some time and look at the image closely, because there will be something here in this image that speaks directly to you. So all in all, I think it's a pretty positive reading. I really do get a strong sense of spirit and being watched over with your outcome card here. And as I said, this tool card, resolution card, you know, that it doesn't strike me as being anything super difficult. I don't think it's going to be a hardship. It's just going to take some work and some desire. I really get a strong sense and message coming from this card of desire. Like there needs to be a willingness to sort of step out on that shaky limb and say, okay, you know, I'm going to allow the dream to manifest itself rather than worrying about it, or rather than being distracted, you know, in this challenge card. So yeah, overall I think a very positive reading. As I always say, if you have any further questions or concerns about your reading, by all means let me know. I'll be happy to look into it further. I don't have anything else to add for an update, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short. I have more work to do. So as I usually say, I hope all of you are well. I send you love and light, harmony, and I will speak with you soon.